Welcome to everyone. Today our guest is MMA fighter Dean Trueman. Dean, thank you for accepting the invitation for the interview. So, can you please get to know our fans with your achievements, scores, results?
So I'm the former Cage Warriors featherweight world champion. 10-6 record, training at the Hardy Warled gym in Leicester, England.
When did you start training MMA and which was your first martial art?
I did karate and old-fashioned jiu-jitsu back when I was a kid. Then I stopped doing that for years. And then I started training MMA when I was about 17. Just going to the MMA classes, really. And then I got a bit more serious and started doing everything else, the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, the wrestling, the striking, and then the MMA to mix it all together.
Do you have a nickname or not yet?
Nah, don't do nicknames.
Just the
If
intro.
someone gave me one, I'd take it, but it probably won't be a nice one.
How would you describe your fighting style?
Normally quite aggressive, and normally quite full on, so quite relentless. But you probably won't see that in my last fight because I was crap.
Right. About your coaches and sparring partners, who's with you now at the moment?
Training partners. I got a lot of training partners. My main coach, Jimmy Warled, as a lot of MMA fans will know. Dan Hardy, he trains at the gym too. And there's a lot of quite new professionals at a really high level. So, I've got a lot of high level grappling training partners down at Nottingham MMA. I've got a lot of training partners, a lot of coaches.
What can you say about your first professional fight? Was it a stressful experience for you?
No, it wasn't, to be honest. I can remember it quite well. Quite a fun experience. I fought a guy called Bartley Burke who was like 3 wins, 3 losses. I think when I fought him, and I armbarred him in the first round. But
Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, we had a lot of the team was on that show. It was a Mark Goddard show, in fact. Mark Goddard used to run an MMA show in Warsaw called AMA FC, and we had quite a lot of my team was on the same show. So that probably took a lot of the stress away.
About your first professional loss, what made the critical difference? What do you think? Why did you lose your first professional fight?
My first professional fight?
Why your first professional loss happened?
Oh, who was it? Martin Sheridan.
Yes.
Yeah, Martin Sheridan. I just wrestled far too much in the fight, and come the third round, I was just completely gassed. I had nothing left in me, and then he managed to choke me out. But other than that, it was a brilliant fight. If you haven't seen it, go watch that fight. Martin will tell you the same. It was a great fight.
Is your fastest win the one against Paul Ramos? 27 seconds, or you have a faster stoppage?
Fastest stoppage was Arnold Quero at Cage Warriors Newport. That was 12 seconds, I think.
How did you finish the fight in 12 seconds? Was it kind of surprising attack or?
No, he threw a stiff jab that connected, and we'd worked it in the back to slip it and overhand right him. And he got a bit cocky. He thought, I'll throw that stiff jab again because the first one landed. And I knew it would come in and slipped it, overhand right, left up, right hand again. And then the ref stopped it. His eyes was all over the shot.
What about the fights before your Cage Warriors career? Can you pinpoint to the hardest one before you inked your Cage Warriors contract?
Probably the one with Martin Sheridan was probably the hardest one before Cage Warriors. Yeah. The hardest Warriors was probably Liam James.
Okay. Liam James.
Yeah, that was probably the hardest one in Cage Warriors.
Okay. And about your Cage Warriors debut, I mean, how did you ink the contract? How did you fight in debut? How was that new feeling? You know, it's a new promotion. Cage Warriors is pretty much powerful promotion, as much as I know.
Yeah, big promotion. It was, I don't know, because it was against Liam James. My debut on Cage Warriors was Liam James, and he'd got a big name. He'd fought a lot of guys, high level. He'd been and trained with Conor McGregor. So I was fighting him. I sort of knew what he was going to come out and do, but when he come out and did it, and he did it well, what he did do. He just come out and wrestled me. He did it well. Didn't really damage me or anything, but he just out wrestled me, and it wasn't the greatest fight. It was a frustrating fight, to be honest. But yeah, that was annoying.
How did you outwork Louis Monarch?
Lewis Monarch, yeah, very technically very good. Nice lad. Good. I get on with Monarch and that well. See, that fight is one of my best performances. I think I was on it. Very disciplined, and I had fun in the fight. The fight was fun. But it's a good fight. I like that fight.
And about Aiden Lee, many people beat up, please. Can you beat up, please? Yes. Okay. About Aiden Lee, I got to ask you one thing. Many people were thinking that against Aiden Lee that you don't have great chances, but you slammed everybody's mouth shut.
Yeah, listen, every fight I take, I'm the underdog. No one rates me. Everyone thinks I'm going to get beat. And it's just bittersweet that people think that, and then I go and win and prove them wrong.
So how's the feel fighting as an underdog? I mean, is it additional pressure, or you got used to it?
I'm used to it. And you know what? It takes the pressure off. And I think you see that because when I was the champ and then there's a lot of pressure on me, you see that in my performances. And the fight after the belt, when I lost against Morgan, you see that there seems a lot of pressure on me. Whereas the fights before, leading up to the belt, I was the underdog. In the Monarch fight and in the Aiden Lee fight, I was the underdog. And I think my performances showed that being the underdog and not having that pressure helps me personally.
Right, against Mats Burnell, he defeated via Japanese necktie. That's kind of some of his special moves are neckties, right?
Yeah, he's good at them. And I tell you what, he sells them to you well as well. He thinks it gives you a little window where you think you can get up or get out, and you go for that, and he snaps it on. He's really good at that. Nice guy too.
About this year, it was kind of rocky year, you know, COVID and two cancellations. Then what actually happened against Belhaj? It didn't come to fruition, and
Yeah, so my MRIs was due for renewal, so I went and had them done, and I couldn't get medically cleared. There was something on the brain that I needed to see a neurologist about to get cleared, and I just couldn't get in time to get cleared for the fight. It was like the Wednesday before the fight, and I'd still not got all my MRI scans with me to go and see the neurologist. So it just couldn't happen. We tried everything, you know. We tried to get into so many different places to get in, and we couldn't. But I'm hoping to get cleared by the end of the year, go see a neurologist and get cleared, and then have a good year next year, fight maybe March.
how's your health at the moment?
My head's fine. You know, I'm just in a bit of a shitty place where it's like I need to get this neurologist appointment and get this sorted before I can really do anything else career-wise.
Yeah, but now the pandemic is on, and it's kind of hard to schedule a day
Yeah.
or so. Yeah.
Well, I seen a neurologist yesterday, but he wants me to have another scan. So that is next week. I've got to have another MRI scan. Where I went, missed some images off that he needs. Right.
Everything gets better. I mean, I watched you last year. on many occasions, and this year I was expecting it in April, then we got COVID and pandemic slammed, then against Belhaj it got cancelled. So you would like to fight in March, right?
Yeah, definitely. I want to get cleared ASAP with the neurologist in Safe MMA, and then hopefully fight. I want to have a big year next year. I want to have at least 3 fights, because this year I've missed so many fights. I want to get back to winning ways next year soon. You know, I want to get to the start of the year, get back to winning, and then finish the year on a win streak.
Do you think they will rebook your fight with Yassin, or you think Cage Warriors is gonna give you another opponent?
I'm not sure yet. I'm toying with the idea of staying at featherweight, but I'm also toying with the idea of going up to lightweight. So maybe if I stay at lightweight, it will be Belhaj. But if I decide to carry on fighting at featherweight, which is kind of the thing where me and my coaches are trying to suss out at the minute, if I can do it and if it's worth doing, then maybe they'll give me somebody else at feather.
Would you like to stay at feather, or would you like to stay at light?
I'm not sure. You know, I mean, that featherweight cut is hard work, so that's kind of what we're looking at, to see if I can maintain my weight better throughout training and not have such a big cut. So, but like featherweight's where I was the champion, so it'd be nice to go and maybe make a run for that championship again.
Would you like to add something to the interview? Would you like to give a shout out to someone, maybe, or maybe to say something we missed to say?
Just all my sponsors, Midland Access and Construction, for paying for my medicals. That was good of them. West Midlands Koi, Capital Civils, Cash Monkey, PDL Fabrications, CBD Life, Subguards, Henry George Menswear. All my sponsors, they help me out so much with the fights and covering training costs. So, yeah, without them, I couldn't do it. All my coaches, you know, Jimmy Warled, Alan Whitten, Paul Lukowski, everybody, all my training partners. You know, thanks a lot for all the help.
Thank you so much for the interview. As I have some interviews locked in at the moment, I will release this on Saturday. Does it sound okay to you?
Yeah, that's perfect.
All right. Thank you so much for this interview, Dean. I will let you know when the interview is on.
Lovely. Thank you very much, mate.
All right. Goodbye.